What's going on, everybody? It is Thursday. Been a long, long week. I hope everybody that was here for the first time for the Jesse interview last week is here and back and happy and ready to ingest some new announcements. There wasn't a ton this week. We got some to go over, but of course, there are a plethora of sales going on right now all of a sudden. And I figure a few of you at least will want to hang out with at least one of the sales, if not two or three of them, considering I think there are three active sales going on, and actually kind of four. I'm going to bring up another one when we're talking about the sales in just a minute. Either way, hello to everybody. I'm glad you're back with me. It has been an interesting week for physical media. There's been some announcements that some people are happy about, and some that people are very unhappy about. We got some friends here. What's going on, Jeff? And Sardis and Lissa, Paul, Eric, Anthony, and everybody. Oh my gosh, hello. Glad you're here. I wanted to shout out one thing before we got too deep into this. We are streaming exclusively on the Patreon. If you are at the second or third tier of the Patreon, we're going to be doing a live stream through our Patreon this weekend, Sunday night. If you are not a member, this is the perfect time to set up. We're going to be watching a really interesting movie all together. And if this works well, we're going to probably try to do one of these once a month because there's no reason not to. We get to stream and talk about a movie as it's on. Why not? I mean, that's kind of perfect. So I am planning on doing that this Sunday at 8 p.m. Central. If you are interested in becoming a patron and you have not signed up yet, link is in the description below. It is really worth it, in my opinion. We just had a drawing for this month's winner, so somebody is getting a boutique Blu-ray package. They get to support the channel. They get to have access to the Discord, where all kinds of deals and stuff get posted. So just throwing it out there. It's a good plan. What's going on, John? Dead Sea Life, welcome back. Glad you're here. Dave ordered the 3 Clint Eastwood 4Ks. They are some pretty damn good prices right now. Sardis ordered Cartoon Saloon's Irish Folklore. I almost got that in the Target buy two get one sale, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not doing it. So I may do that one at the next sale. It's certainly in my favorites list for now. What's going on, Terry? I'm happy to see you here. And Dead Sea Life says I should stream once a week. I mean, I do this once a week, and then on the Patreon, I had a stream on Tuesday. Or no, it was yesterday. And then I stream, actually on the Patreon side, I stream at least once a week usually. Sometimes twice a week, or they at least get a video every week. I do try to stream as often as I can. But yeah, I am here live every Thursday for everybody, no matter what. So every single week. I've only missed one Thursday in almost a full year, which is pretty damn good, I think. Anyways, let's start getting into some of these announcements. And while we're doing this, if you have a comment that you want to highlight or anything like that, Super Chat is open below, like I say. And always happy to answer questions. So if something comes up and you want to highlight a question, that is the best way to do it for sure. Sulako, thanks for the heads up on the deep discount imprint sale. That is the fourth one that I was kind of hinting at that I'm going to bring up tonight for sure. Yeah, so yeah, if you missed a couple Dead Sea Life, I'm here every single Thursday night at 8:30 Central. You can literally put it on your calendar because it is in mine. Let's share these announcements. First up is from a label that is quickly becoming one of my favorites. The only odd thing about this is we don't have a release date yet. This is just as coming soon in 2022. We are getting a Walter Hill box set from Imprint. And one thing that people are not happy about this is that it includes Extreme Prejudice, which by the time this comes out, this will be the third release of Extreme Prejudice in the last couple months. And the only thing I will say to keep in mind about that is that these are also being made for different regions. So this is for the Australian region. We had a release come out in the US from Vestron, and then Studio Canal just released one in the UK. Granted, we have worldwide shipping, so some of us are going to have one or two of these, but also they were made for those specific regions. So it does make sense to release them multiple times. It's not really something to get upset about, in my opinion. But either way, this set looks pretty freaking rad. And Walter Hill is a hell of a great director, and if you've not seen anything from him, I think Extreme Prejudice is actually a really great place to start, especially because that Vestron is really cheap. It's like $12 at Best Buy or Walmart. I think you get it at both places for literally like $11.99. Skulder, what's going on? So the deets on this one, they don't have pre-orders up yet because they don't have a release date. They said Walter Hill has been directing films for almost 50 years and has established himself a reputation of delivering thrilling, gritty, and highly stylized films. This box is going to have 1975's Hard Times, 1978's The Driver, which a lot of people are happy about, 1981's The Long Riders, and then jumping a few years, we got 1987's Extreme Prejudice, 1989's Johnny Handsome, and then all the way up to 2006's Broken Trail. They are going to be announcing their 6 September releases on the 1st of July. They are going to include a foreign masterpiece finally coming to Blue, a nihilistic alcoholic biography, another Zhang Yimou, I never remember how to say that properly, flick at home on Blu-ray, a sporting scandal, a controversial adaptation, and a story of forbidden love. And again, Imprint. Really, really great attention to detail on a lot of these. One thing I will highlight is most of the Imprint titles have been region free, almost every single one. So if you are here and you are not region free yet, you should be able to buy most of these without worrying about region coding, even though they're from Australia. And on that front, I want to highlight again what Sulako88 just said. There is a deep discount, low-key Imprint sale going on right now. It's not really a sale. They have, I think it's called the Bargain Bin. I've got the link on Twitter and on my Facebook, but if you go to the deep discount site and you search for their Bargain Bin, and then in that Bargain Bin, you search for Imprint, they have limited edition titles for like $11.40. And then the ones that are standard edition without the slipcase, it's only like $8.50. It is like shockingly crazy low prices on some of these Imprint titles. Now, my favorite part about Imprint is that a lot of their stuff is for the first time on Blu-ray anywhere. So, for example, one of those Imprint titles that are on sale at deep discount right now is The Straight Story from David Lynch. And this was the first time that it was out on Blu-ray anywhere in the world. And for them to be putting it out like that, and it's literally only going to be $11.50 plus maybe shipping, although you can get free shipping. And then also, if you check my posts, there is a way to get 10% off as well. I mean, that's a crazy great price. So if you are interested in any of the Imprint titles that they have on for sale, I know that there's a lot of sales right now, but those are never going to be cheaper. It is my suggestion to focus on those first. Some of these other things like the Kino sale, those go on sale quite frequently. If you had to choose between the two, I would suggest getting the Imprint titles because you never know when those are going to go out of print. Let's see. Sardis says, in my sloppy seconds order, I was given an extra disc called Crazy Dave, which is 100 or so clips that make no sense at all. Weird. That is very weird. Dave says, my collection is now at the point where I have to get more shelves. We just talked about this in the Discord today, actually, because Cam, or Nerd of the 80s in the chat sometimes, he just got this beautiful looking shelf. And I was saying that I'm happy when that happens because it's always fun to be able to have an empty shelf to fill, and then you fill it quickly and you're like, God dang it, already. What's going on, Dustin? And the Cinema Dude. Hey. Timothy says, just picked up 5 more imprints for Crazy Cheap. Exactly. They are so good right now. July 1st, going to be a big day. No surprise there. July 1st is going to be a massive day. I mean, the fact that we are getting, I believe it's 14 partner label releases from the Vinegar Syndrome partners. And then on top of that, the imprint titles. Supposedly next week, we are probably getting Scream Factory announcements. And then tomorrow's Arrow announcements. It's going to be a good couple weeks. I'm hoping to get, there's 1 or 2 guests I'm working on for one of these Thursday shows, hoping 1 or 2 of those come to fruition. But either way, there's a lot going on. Skolder says, enjoying at night morning streams. I usually miss, got a national holiday here. Oh, that's right. What is the holiday? I can't remember that. I remember there being one. Sardis says it's a double bill with Lawnmower Man. Interesting. What is our next announcement? Next, that is a poor picture, but let's look at this one. Coming on August 1st from 101 Films in the UK, this is The Brain. This is the title that was put out on Scream Factory, and 101 Films is bringing this to the Black Label series. They do some decent work on the Black Label. This one, it it's got a couple new things here listed. It's not going to be completely bare bones or anything like that. It's got a limited edition booklet, and then it has Sounds of the Mind, Paul Zaza on the Brain. It is a 2K scan of the OCN, and then the rest of it are all archival extras. This one will likely be Region B locked, but we don't know for sure on this one yet, unfortunately. And let's see what's next. This was a big announcement for me because I can't wait to see how good this looks. Synapse on October 25th is releasing Satan's Little Helper from 2004, a really nice Halloween style movie. This is going to be a good one that I do suggest people pick up, especially if you've never seen it. One of the main reasons is Synapse is known for having some kind of high prices, and this one will be fairly priced. I believe the MSRP on this one is like $40, and when it's $40, usually that means that the actual price at retail is probably going to be around 25, 28, somewhere around there. And then during a sale, Amazon will probably carry this for less than 20. So hopefully this is a good release. I'm sure it'll look pretty good. Synapse does good work. And for those of you that haven't seen it, what they have down as the synopsis, 9-year-old Douglas, can't speak, 9-year-old Douglas Woolley is obsessed with the handheld video game Satan's Little Helper and annoyed that the attention of his big sister Jenna is being distracted by her new boyfriend Alex. These two concerns collide on Halloween when Douglas witnesses a serial killer in a devil mask posing his victims like outdoor All Hallows Eve displays. Not comprehending how real the carnage is, Douglas becomes this Satan's little helper, and that's very bad news for Alex, for Douglas, and Jenna's mom, Meryl, and ultimately for their entire town. This is a different kind of Halloween film that combines grisly killings with mile-wide streak of savage humor, and it's genuinely pretty funny. And then the features on this, we are going to have an audio commentary from the director, a vintage behind-the-scenes featurette, The Devil in the Details, which is a making of Satan's Little Helper, and then a tour of the filming locations with the director, Jeff Lieberman. I'm thinking that this looks pretty damn good. Good, solid release. Jeff is asking, is there a limit on the deep discount sale? I don't think so. I think you can get as many as you can fit in your cart. What's going on, Ken? Next one up, of course, again, once a week, and I have a comment on it. Coming on September 6th from Kino, which Kino, obviously, we're going to be talking about their sale that's going on this week. I will say, it's kind of odd. Kino has always, or not always, but for the last few months, been posting announcements pretty much every day or every other day. And it seems like this week is suddenly very quiet, which means it feels like they're going to be hitting some stuff hard. And Kino usually does good for October with some sort of horror titles. So I'm real curious to see what they have up their sleeve coming up. But this one is coming on September 6th, and they are calling it Paravision Dreams, the Golden Age 3D films of Pine and Thomas. This collection includes 3 classic 3D films in glorious Technicolor, and those are Sangaree from 1953, Those Redheads from Seattle from 1953, and then Javaro from 1954. All of the 3D restorations are done by the 3D Film Archive, who absolutely kills their restorations. They do great work. And then the cool thing, this is an actual 3-disc set, and they are not going to be bare bones releases. The first title, Sangaree, is getting a Lux Radio Theater adaptation, before and after restoration demo, and then trailers for it. Disc 2, Those Redheads from Seattle, is getting an audio commentary by Hilary Hess, Greg Kintz, and Jack Theakston and Bob Furmanek. Then on top of that, there's going to be a 2006 interview with Rhonda Fleming, and then the restoration demo. And then Javaro is getting an audio commentary with Mike Ballou, Hilary Hess, Greg Kintz, and Jack Thiegston. And then there is Javaro, a shot-by-shot stereoscopic analysis. I don't have... Oh, sorry, Jeff said, is there a time limit on the deep discount sale? Not as far as I'm aware. The only limit is what sells out, and that bargain bin. Those sell out sometimes fairly quickly because it's literally just what they have left for that title. And there are a few of those that are going to be highly coveted, like that David Lynch the short story. Hi, Courtney. Good to see you there. By Fur, what's going on? Strawberry Mansion, nice. I hope you like it. It's a really strong release. Sardis says all 3 films have redheads in the cover. Yes, that seemed to be a thing at this time for sure. And then, of course, they even have those redheads from Seattle. They are certainly highlighting something there. Next one up is I finally decided to post this, and of course, right after I posted this, I got the details I wanted, so I couldn't post this in the details. But Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things is coming in 4K from VCI. Now, that's sort of a good news, bad news thing. So this is actually a really great movie. If you've never seen it, it is a surprisingly well-made movie. Now, the hard thing is it's really difficult to suggest that people purchase this because VCI is certainly not known for high quality. And to see them breaking into 4K with a title like this, it should make me excited, but I'm very nervous. They don't have a super strong track record. They don't have a current set of momentum going where it seems like they're ramping up to really good quality. Unfortunately, the last thing that they're promoting before this was a Dark Knight of the Scarecrow 2 that was released in either 2021 or 2022. And for those of you that saw the trailer, it looks bad. Has anybody out there watched Dark Knight of the Scarecrow 2? I started up the trailer and I was just flummoxed to see that the main character in the film was wearing a VCI Entertainment hat. And to me, okay, you produced it. That should be enough. Seeing the VCI hat kind of pulled me out of the film fairly quickly. And that's sad because the original is really good. I hope that the new one is good, but it just does not scream high quality to me. So we have Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things to look forward to. This is coming on October 11th. And we did get some special features for this. Hans, I love this. VCI equals very crappy image. That is amazing. I wish I could upvote that post. Yeah, that's perfect. VCI is... I don't know. There's some things that we have on Blu-ray that we wouldn't have from anywhere else if they didn't put it out, likely. So I am glad that they've done that. There are some really classic Mexican horror films that we have that VCI has put out. And even then, unfortunately, they put them out on burn discs, and they're not even high-quality discs, so they feel cheap, and they're not, the encoding could be better. It's just sort of a VCI thing. Like I said, they did get a list of special features for this, and it is something where it sounds good. So if the picture quality is good, it probably will be a decent release. But for this one, I give a strong wait for reviews before you make the decision on this one. For a company that has made the choices they have, choosing to go 4K is I think it's a good choice for them as a company, but I think that they sort of needed to earn some goodwill before they jumped to Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. The only way that I think that this would be good is if a studio did the restoration for them and just said, here, you can put this out, buy the rights from us and we will put it out. So we'll see. I'm holding out hope that it's decent, but I just got to be honest with myself. Next one up. Arrow Video is currently having a sale through Barnes & Noble. It is a 50% off sale of the MSRP. So that means most of like the standard just regular case releases are about $20. Some of them that are rather old are somewhere between $15 and $17, but a lot of them are going to be $20 a piece. Now, that's not going to feel like too much of a sale to a lot of people. However, that certainly is a sale. I mean, a lot of Arrow titles, they never go below like 25 bucks. So even 20 is enough to maybe dive into some of these ones that you've been holding out on. Now, from what I'm hearing, the Arrow sale is going to be a full month long at the Barnes and Nobles, and this is in person and online for Barnes and Noble. A lot of them they get at least an end cap for Arrow, but some of them are even getting larger portions of their physical media section to donate to Arrow Video during this time, and then after the sale they scale it back. But this should be going until about July 16th ish, and keep in mind that around the 1st or 2nd of July, the entire Criterion collection is going to be on sale through Barnes & Noble as well. So if you go during those first 2 weeks, you could stock up on both Criterion and Arrow titles. Sean, what's going on, my friend? Glad you're here. Sarda says, it took 2 months before I got my $5 Yakuza films. I'm hearing a couple reasons for that. Supposedly a podcast did some sort of like deep dive into the Yakuza films right at that time and highlighted all of them, and then Arrow put them on sale during the same week, so all kinds of people went to buy them. So that's why they were so far behind on printing. I don't think they meant to sell as many as they did, and at $5, I mean, I'd be willing to wait 2 months to get those for $5 each. That's not bad at all. If anybody's interested, we could potentially look at some of the Arrow titles on sale at Barnes & Noble tonight after the Kino sale. Just let me know if you want to take a look together as a group. Next one from Kino, we are getting He Who Must Die from 1957. This is getting an audio commentary by Daniel Creamer. This is a black and white film that's just over 2 hours long, and it's in French. I have not seen this one, but I've heard some really good things. Has anyone else seen this one? Let's see. John was talking about Dark Knight of the Scarecrow 2. He says it's abysmal, or he's heard it's abysmal. That makes sense. Let's see. This one, the synopsis here, sounds really good. Set in a Turkish-occupied Greek village shortly after World War I, Jules Dassin's stunning He Who Must Die tells the story of the townspeople's efforts to stage their passion play, an event that occurs once every 7 years. The leading citizens choose who will play the parts. A stuttering young shepherd is chosen as Jesus, the town butcher as Judas, the town prostitute as Mary Magdalene. But as the movie unfolds, the passion becomes a reality, and the villagers actualize their biblical roles against the tragic backdrop of a country uprooted by war and poverty. Adapted from author Nikos Kazantzakis by the world-renowned Jules Dassin, the director of Rafifi, Never on Sunday, and Topkapi, this powerful film asks, what would happen if Jesus came down to earth a second time? Obviously, I've spoken before, I'm not super religious, but I am interested in this specifically just because it sounds super unique. And, being raised religious, it's interesting at least. Next one up, Kino announced The Counterfeit Trader is coming on, let's see. Oh, we don't have a date yet. This is from 1962, though. And this is one of the Paramount restorations that they're putting out as part of that new deal. This is from a 2018 HD master. And usually when it's an HD master, it specifies, and thankfully they say here, from a 4K scan of the 35mm OCN. So it's going to be a good-looking transfer. I'm kind of surprised they didn't go 4K on this, but it seems like for a lot of the titles that aren't going to sell super well, they're going to keep going Blu-ray, which, sure, that makes sense. This one is, of course, with William Holden, Lily Palmer, and Klaus Kinski. That's the other big name on this. And then it is directed by George Seaton, who did Miracle on 34th Street. This one will probably come out near the end of this year. I'm guessing probably around November. Let's see. Sardis says, I'm confused that there's a 3-disc trilogy set of the titles and the individuals are 5 films. Input anyone. Of is that of the Battles Without Honor and Humanity? I believe the original set is 5 movies, and then the new Battles is 3 movies. There's actually, I believe, 8 movies altogether. I think that's right. Somebody else can correct me if that's incorrect, but I believe that's how it's going. Ken says the 3 best blues VCIs put out are Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, agreed, Ruby, and Dark Star. Only Scarecrow's Blue is a solid release as far as quality. I really wish Scream Factory would get access to Dark Star just because they've had all of the other John Carpenter titles. The Last Temptation connection to He Who Would Must Die sparks my curiosity. Me too, Flickering. That's one of the reasons I definitely want to see it. So yes, I do think it's 8 films, Sardis. Yes, I believe it's a different set of films filmed literally like a couple decades later. And I believe they are connected somehow through story. And it might even be through characters as well. Then Kino announced that on September 27th, we are getting Indecent Proposal in 4K. This is from 1993 with Robert Redford, Demi Moore, and Woody Harrelson. And I'm not like, I'm glad this is getting a good release. I am kind of shocked that Kino chose this as a 4K release. But whatever, that's their choice here. A lot of people recognize this one because of the story for it, but it's got some good names: Robert Redford, Demi Moore, Woody Harrelson, Oliver Platt, Billy Bob Thornton, Rip Taylor, Billy Connolly, and it's directed by Adrian Lyne, who did Fatal Attraction. So I remember this one a little bit. It's a decent movie. It is sort of an erotic thriller. It's an interesting one to come out, and I am glad to see more of these erotic thrillers get releases. So hoping that enough people get this, that we keep diving into that genre. Then we got a trio of announcements from Second Sight after they have been quiet for quite some time. We are getting Monster from 2003. This is coming on August 15th. This is a down on her luck sex worker unexpectedly finds love and is determined to get her life back on track. However, she soon finds out that going straight is never simple and is embroiled in a spiral of violent crime as she escalates from petty theft to serial murder. Now, this was a huge movie at the time. Absolutely big movie. This is one that if you've never seen it, it's kind of an odd choice for Second Sight, but it is a good movie, so I'm glad they're putting it out. And special features wise, we are getting an audio commentary with Patty Jenkins and Charlize Theron and Clark Peterson. There's a new interview with Patty Jenkins. There's a new interview with Brad Wyman, who is the producer. A new interview with the DP, Steven Bernstein, and then The Vision and Journey, which is what they're calling Monster. And then based on a true story, The Making of Monster, deleted and extended scenes with director's commentary, and even a few other more items there, and things like the trailer and evolution of the score. But then the limited edition, if you go for this, is going to have new artwork, of course, soft cover book with new essays like they always do, and then the 6 collector art cards at the bottom. Here is a close-up of the art on this one. This is a good release. Kubrick lover doesn't love it. That makes sense. It's certainly not for everybody. Monster is an interesting one. Fu says, I wish Monster was 4K. I would agree there. I think this is one that genuinely would have looked good in 4K. And I don't know. Let me see. Do they even say anything about the restoration on their site for this? We pull it up at the same time as we talk about this. Limited editions and Monster. Yep, nothing here about the scan. So I'm curious, even when the scan is from, if it's a 4K scan, 2K scan. We'll see. Dag Films, what's going on? After Monster, we got 2 really interesting ones coming. We got Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell. This is also coming from Second Sight. This one and the next one are both coming on August 29th. Here is a look at the entire package for Frankenstein. This is the finale to Hammer's Frankenstein cycle, features a young doctor who is interned in the asylum where Baron Frankenstein supposedly perished after being found experimenting on stolen corpses. In the asylum, he meets the mysterious Dr. Victor and gradually comes to realize that Frankenstein is alive and well and continuing his work. Now, the limited for this is going to have the same thing, a softcover book, and then the art cards. There are 5 art cards in this set, and this one is going to have the main feature in the UK aspect ratio, and then the alternative full frame of 137:1, new audio commentary by Kat Ellinger, and then archival audio commentary from a handful of scholars, an appreciation of Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell by David Huckvale, and then a featurette on the music and Taking Over the Asylum. And then finally, Charming Evil, Terrence Fisher at Hammer. There is a lot of stuff on here. So this looks like a decent release. And if you're into Kat Ellinger, this new commentary might be enough to have you double dip on this if you had picked up the Scream Factory disc. But they're not stopping there either. They're also putting out The Mummy from 1959. Now, this one obviously has Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, just like 75 other movies that they were in together. But this is a good, solid release. And I don't believe this one has a release from Scream Factory yet. And in fact, I don't know that this has another Blu-ray release yet. So this is actually a really exciting title. I may be wrong there. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I do think that there's a chance this still comes from Scream Factory, but time will have to tell on that one. This one is also coming on August 29th. And by the way, you can pre-order this already from both Grindhouse Video and Diabolic, I believe. Ken says Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell was confirmed to be uncut by Second Sight. That is a good thing. This one says, in 1895, a team of British archaeologists discover the untouched tomb of Princess Anaka, but accidentally bring the mummified body of her high priest back to life. 3 years later, back in England, a follower of the same Egyptian religion unleashes the mummy to exact grisly revenge on the despoilers of the sacred past. This one will have the 5 art cards seen here, softcover book, hard box to house everything in. This has a new commentary by Kelly Robinson, which I don't know if I've listened to a Kelly Robinson commentary yet, so I don't know if that would be enough to get me to double on this one. And then it's got the archival commentary, Appreciation of the Mummy by David Huckvale, the music, Unwrapping the Mummy, Memories of Bray, Hammer Rep Company, lots of stuff on here. Again, Second Sight, always going the whole way. Oh, Scream Factory does have one. Oh, but it's out of print. Got it, Cinema Dude. Thank you. That's what I was thinking. Just a Warner Brothers. Oh, just a Warner Brothers DVD. Interesting. Interesting. And then we have gotten a few announcements from Visual Vengeance Video, but this is the next one that's coming out, and this is Blood of the Chupacabras. Again, this is a sister company of Wild Eye, and even though they've announced, I think this is 5 that they've announced so far. I think this is the 5th one. We still have not had any of them in hand yet, so we don't know how high quality they're going to be. I mean, a lot of people really are unhappy with Wild Eye as a whole, but this is one that is brand new. So real curious on how this is going to look for them, but I don't know. Wild Eye is a hard one to trust. Not quite as bad as VCI in terms of quality, but in terms of the quality of the movie itself sometimes. I tend to like shot on video stuff, and not all of these are shot on video, but the big thing is this one is also a double feature. And let's take a closer look at the features on this one. This is Blood of the Chupacabras, and the other one, whoops, wrong way. Other arrow. Blood of the Chupacabras and Revenge of the Chupacabras from 2003 and 2005. This is including the Blockbuster Video shelf staples, Blood of the Chupacabras, and a sequel, Revenge. Both shot on video. Features include a healthy amount of new and archival bonus material. And to give an idea of what these are about, a group of local townsfolk are led by a treasure hunter into a nearby mine in search of gold, but encounter a vampiric chupacabra monster and the townsfolk that the beast have turned into murderous slaves. This is going to have first time ever available on Blu-ray, archival SD masters from the original Betacam tapes, new commentaries on both from the director, archival behind the scenes features, blooper reels, and then there is a limited edition slipcase by Earl Kessler in the first pressing only. And then just like their other releases, they are going to have a little mini poster and then these VHS stickers, which look really cool. Let me zoom in on these a little bit. You got a little exploitation sticker, shot on video, Super 8, Visual Vengeance logo, adults only. I kind of like this idea. I'm a sucker for little things like that that will look good around the room. Next one up, another sale. MVD Entertainment is hosting a Film Detective and Kit Parker film sale. Prices are starting at $7.48 for the DVDs, but just like the other MVD sales, these are $5.99 flat rate shipping no matter how many you order, and usually they max you out at 15 items. So I will say the prices during this sale on some of these Film Detectives are the best prices I have ever seen, and they do not get enough love. I will say if these are the ones with the 4K restoration, such as the Giant from the Unknown, or I believe Flight to Mars is also 4K restoration, they do incredible, incredible restoration work. And if you are into classic cinema, whether it's some of them are sci-fi, like classic monsters, that sort of thing, these are top of the line, best possible purchases for these films, and they are probably never going to look better because a lot of them are never going to get genuine 4K releases. So if that's your genre that you like, I would certainly look at it. John says 5th or 6th. Oh yeah, it is 6th because they did. What was the other one? Slaughter Day. I forgot about that one. So yeah, this is the 6th one that they announced. Sardis says, I want to get the brain from a roast from them, and that one's getting some rave reviews for the picture quality for sure. Let's see what else we got. I might dive into this one too, if we have enough time, considering it's only 37 minutes in so far. Speaking of Scream Factory, since we just talked about them, they announced 2 more of their site exclusive titles this week, and they're decent. Well, one of them looks pretty good. The other one looks a little light for the price, but we're getting The Flesh Eaters from 1964. Again, this is limited to 1,500 units on their website only, and this has a brand new 2K scan of the film from the best available film elements. There's an alternate cut, which is only an SD. There's an audio commentary on the alternate cut with Arnold Drake, who is the writer and producer, and Fred Olen Ray is on it, and Tom Weaver is on it. There's also an interview with actress Lyanne Curtis, some outtakes, storyboard gallery, image gallery, and then you can get this on their site right now. But if you want to get free shipping, you could also purchase it with the She Creature. This is also limited to only 1,500 units. This one is from 56. Now, this one says nothing about a new restoration, which should tell you quite a lot about what they're doing with their exclusives lately. And the only bonus feature, other than a radio spot and photo gallery, which most of these get, this has a Mystery Science Theater 3000 Presents the She Creature episode on here. And if you do order this from their site, you could get one of the exclusive 18 by 24 inch folded posters featuring this artwork, available while supplies last. Again, these are like $28 a piece. So if you do get both of them together, you will be over that $50 threshold for free shipping. But I mean, this one, I could see this getting another like better release from the UK eventually, but we also don't know for sure. So I don't know. If you are getting all of the Scream Factory limited titles, this is the time to get them. They're not going to go any cheaper. They'll sell out eventually. Let's see. Dead Sea Life says, Tom Weaver is a good friend of mine. He used to come over for WrestleMania. Nice. Very nice. Ken is waiting for Shout to release Battle Truck, one of the best Corman library. they need to do something better with the Corman films. Like, you own them in perpetuity. Give us don't just regulate them sorry, wrong word. Don't relegate them all to these limited titles. Make it so that we can share them even if they're just standard titles. Put Battle Truck out as a standard Scream release and make it so that it's available for a long time. Come on. Next up is possibly my favorite announcement of the week, even though the Second Sight stuff looks really good. I have not seen either of these two films, and A24 is putting out one of their fancy slipcase book releases of The Souvenir and The Souvenir Part 2. These are from 2019 and 2021. Now, I never saw the first one, so I never saw the second one, obviously, but I've been waiting for the first one to get a good release. Something told me that it was coming. I'm glad I have it like this so that I can do both of them back to back. And let's take a look at what this looks like. First of all, this is the front cover. Here is the back. And this is what we got on the inside. It looks fairly decent. It's not dense on information. There's a lot of art and pictures, but it is going to be a pretty decent release. We've got some extras on here. We've got disc extras. We got Joanna Hogg's 1986 short film Caprice, a 41-minute making of documentary featuring new interviews with Joanna Hogg, Honor Swinton Byrne, and Martin Scorsese, and then a director's commentary for each film. This is only going to be a Blu-ray disc. It is not 4K, which a lot of people were upset about. They seem to want some more quality out of this one, which I understand. What's going on? All that is man. And Alyssa just ordered Straight Story of Mothman Prophecies. Mothman is such a great release. Super slept on. Antoine, hey. John says She Creature is good 50 sci-fi. No commentary is disappointing. We deserve better. That's all I'm going to say. David says Flesh Eaters is a good one. I've not ordered either one of those yet. I need to, I think. This one is $42 and only available from A24 directly right now. And these, I'm not going to say it won't sell out, but so far, all of their special edition ones that they've had they've sold out on printings, but they've always come back. So this is something, it's not going to be cheaper, probably. They've never had a sale on these, but it probably will not go out of print for some time at least. However, if you really want it and you want it quickly, again, not going to go down in price, so you may as well get it now. I think it's still available today. Then Gold Ninja tweeted that they are putting out Revengeful Swordswoman. This is, oh man, I misspelled that. I should edit that, and I will be. Gold Ninja is creating a new 2K scan of the theatrical print on this one, and there's more info to come. We don't have a release date or anything like that. This says legendary kung fu actress Chia Ling stars in, or Ga Ling, I guess is also known as name, stars in this gritty tale of revenge. In order to avenge her father's murder, Sheng Ying trains herself in the deadliest form of swordplay. Her only goal is to kill all of her father's vicious killers. From hand-to-hand combat to uniquely choreographed weapon fights, Revengeful Swordswoman will have kung fu fans wanting more. I'm literally going to edit that while you're watching, just so that I don't forget, because this should be woman, not man. Just the patriarchy coming again and squashing them down. Let's see. Mike says, thanks for the info on an imprint. Just grabbed Drugstore Cowboy. Nice. Haunted, Let It Ride, Dead Zone. Look at that. That's a hell of an order. Was holding out on sales with those prices. I mean, you're not going to get a sale that's better than that. That's for sure. Going to order it in a week or two. John says this will be fun. Yeah. Again, Gold Ninja does top-notch work, and this is one that they're scanning in themselves. This is going to be from a theatrical print, so I'm willing to bet that this is going to look rather good, especially when you compare it to some of the other ones that they didn't have the film scanner for. So looking forward to this one for sure. Jeff is trying to hold out. And finally, we got information on the Kino sale. We're going to go over that one, so I will hold off on that for now. Uh, Anyone think we're getting Drugstore Cowboy in the US? Been holding out. I'm fairly certain we will, but I also don't think it'll be better than that imprint release. So at that price, I almost just say buy it now. It's region free. Why not? It's imprint. They do really good work. I will say that they've had a handful of misses for me, that the transfers weren't, top notch, but a lot of their stuff, it's the first time on Blu-ray, like Drugstore Cowboy, I believe. It's the first time on Blu-ray anywhere in the world, legally at least. So I do think that a lot of these are worth picking up, even from Australia. And I know the imprint is very expensive. I'm not blowing past that whatsoever. However, if you order in bulk from Australia, it's not awful. And then, likewise, if you order it from a place like Orbit or Grindhouse Video or Diabolic, a lot of those places are maxing out at like $28, $29 for these, which is fairly reasonable for a brand new limited edition price on those now. You're not going to get them on sale unless it goes to a bargain bin like this at deep discount, which is, again, exactly why I'm saying if you want them, now is the time to get them, because once they sell out of that bargain bin, it's not going to be $11 ever again, probably. It is certainly worth it. All right, let's go into what is dropping next week. And some of these are already available at like Orbit, and Diabolic has some of them in as well. Let's take a look. We got Out of Sight in 4K from Kino. That is a big title. If you've never seen that, highly recommend it. The retail release of Ilya Muromets is going to drop finally. Killer's Kiss from Stanley Kubrick is coming from Kino. The True Romance 4K is coming in the US finally next week. A lot of people have that in already, and it looks great. Again, I'll say that. From Criterion, we are getting The Worst Person in the World and Pink Flamingos next week. Is that it from Criterion next week? I think so. We'll skip over Secrets of Dumbledore. Coca-Cola Kid from Fun City Editions, that's getting the retail release next week. Strongly suggest that one. Fun City Editions has been killing it. The films of Doris Wishman, they are getting, I believe their retail release is coming this week. And then Buster Keaton Rides Again. That one is getting its retail release. Same with The Little Hours. All of these are from partner labels of Vinegar Syndrome. The First Wives Club is getting its first Blu-ray release from Paramount Presents. Boomerang featuring Eddie Murphy is coming next week. And then Severin is dropping their Mardi Gras Massacre retail release of that one. Inspector Ike is coming from Factory 25 in a retail release. And I just want to say, I finished that movie literally this morning. Inspector Ike was made for me, man. That movie was hilarious through and through. Really great story, really well made. They filmed it in a way that made it feel like a period piece, and it was filmed in New York City. And to do that now is not super easy. And I'm so glad that they were able to put it out. And then the bonus features even are very funny. Inspector Ike is worth the pickup if you like dry humor, if you like the awkward humor of like John Early, who's in it. He's one that people have had their eyes on for the last couple of years. If you enjoy the absurd humor of something like that skit show on Netflix that I can't remember the name of right now for some reason, it's so great. And then Flickering says, don't forget the recipe card. Yes, there is a blank recipe card on the inside for you to write down a chili recipe or something of your own. And then there's actually a booklet in this release. I'm not sure if that's going to be in the retail release, but the booklet's pretty good. I laughed hard because there's a word search in the booklet. Oh, man. Yeah, this was a great release. Very happy with this one. Severin is also putting out the retail release of The Big Sleazy from Jack Weiss. Passing Strangers and Forbidden Letters is coming from, I think that's Altered Innocence. No Resistance. Also watched this one literally just today. Another strong, really good movie that feels like this much larger scope than it actually is. And Houston in, I think it's, 1994. It looks really like post-apocalyptic. They did a really great job with that one. I am impressed with that one as this cyberpunk shot on video. Really great story, and it feels like grimy. It's so good. Uzumaki, this one is coming next week. Finally, I feel like we announced that one months ago. Videophobia, this is from Connie releasing, will come out next week. The Hey Stop Stabbing Me, the shot on video released on Blu-ray from Severin, is coming out next week. The re-release of the first film noir box set from Kino will finally be coming back into print. And note on that one, everything is the same as the first one. So yeah, you don't have to worry about double dipping or anything like that. And all those people that bought it on eBay for like $350, which that's a real thing. It was selling for over $300 for quite some time. It is exactly the same. No bonus features, nothing added, nothing taken away. The same exact box. Kubrick Lover saw No Resistance and liked it too. That's good to hear. Terry's gonna try the chili recipe. Oh, that's funny. Yes, John, you did tell me. I couldn't get to it in time. No Resistance was shot on Super A, or Super B. Sorry. Interesting. I mean, it's certainly labeled as a shot on video. What's going on, Marvin? Glad you're here tonight. It was shot on Super VHS and the graphics. Yeah, Super. You got it. That makes sense. So maybe shot on tape would be better. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that. I know everybody is clamoring for a Firestarter from this year, so that one will be released on physical media next week. The Video Violence double set from Terror Vision is coming out next week. King Car from Dark Star, Airdoll, I think this is Decanalog. Forbidden Love from Canadian International Pictures. I'm really looking forward to Sharam Mokri from, this is Deaf Crocodile, I believe, putting that one out. Man, so many partner label releases. We got Final Flash from Agfa, Night Ripper from, I think that's Culture Shock, Red Lips from Saturn's Core, who we were just talking about, Polystyrene, that is from Utopia, I believe. And then Out of Sight is not only getting a 4K through Kino, it's also getting a regular blue. And Superior is coming from, I want to say Yellow Veil. I'm not remembering right on that one, probably. Potato Dreams of America is coming out. So many partner labels, though. I mean, everything is getting released this week. And some people, they still have not received their sale releases, but they are getting their partner label releases already. So those should all be shipping from OCN distribution by the end of this month for most people. Kubrick, by all means, type fast. That's good. I'm honestly very impressed with the computer effects in No Resistance. They like the 3D animations of the things twisting on the guy's POV. It looked really good. Like it looked like a general heads up display that I was shocked with. For 1994, it was very high quality. Christopher, what's going on? Glad you're watching. Let's see. John is giving the endorsement to Hey Stop Stabbing Me. I need to get that one. It's from the same guys that made Sonic, literally the new Sonic movie. Videophobia is Japanese, yes. And yeah, I think the catalog put that one out, if I'm remembering right. Or no, Videophobia is Connie, not the catalog. Let's see. Kubrick Lover's waiting on his VS sale. I got my sale order in. I've not got my partner labels. That's Dead Sea Life is getting all of them. Sardis, I'm waiting as well. Oh, dang. Dead Sea Life is only an hour from the archive, which means I'm sure he's been there at least twice. I can't wait to make a trip up there eventually at some point. Let's see. Let's take a look at the Kino sale, huh? Let me share this screen. All right, the spring into summer sale is live and it ends on July 18th. Let me change my view here so you can see the whole picture. And let's take a look at some of these. I will point out that a lot of their blue releases are a little more expensive than last time. I'm noticing on some of these, but they are still very cheap. Like most of these are $10 and below. So if there's something that you've been waiting on, this is probably the perfect time to do it. It is a sale that has over 800 titles, which the last year they've been advertising that way. I won't say there are 800 good titles to choose from, but they are there. And there are many. So I'm going to try not to go through every page. I know we went through every page last time, but there's a lot to go over. Anybody, if you are seeing any titles on any of these, throw them out there. Let people know that they're great. There's quite a few from Kino that I've either never seen the Kino version, I've never seen the film at all, or I have it and I just haven't got to it yet because Kino is good. So I'm trying to enlarge the page for Sardis. Let's see. That's about as big as I can go without cutting things off. Does that work, Sardis? Is that better? Yeah, with Kino, they're one of these labels that I tend to stockpile from and not get to as quickly because a lot of them are I don't know. There's something about them that doesn't make me prioritize watching some of them. So I got to admit, I will put some of these to the side and try to watch something else first. And nothing against them. I mean, they have a lot of really good titles. So again, if you see something that you know is great and I just skip right over it, please say something. But there's like 25 or 28 pages to this sale, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on these. The only ones I'm going to highlight are ones that I know and love. So for this page, really for me, this bottom row is full of really great titles. The original Alice in Wonderland here, it doesn't say the year. I think it's, gosh, is that, I want to say it's the 30s. Let me open this in another tab, see if it says it. Yeah, 1933. That is a really good adaptation, and it's crazy old, and to see the growth from the adaptations is great. I just ordered All Nighter. This one has been in my wish list for a while, so that was part of my sale order. Amazon Women on the Moon is good if you like that sort of comedy. I mean, it's $10. It's not a lot to risk on it. And then Almost Summer, I think I've seen this one. It is, it's pretty well known. Sardis says Alphaville is great. That's one I know that I need to watch. Yeah, All That Is Man has been watching these forever. Dead Sea Life says that Abe Lincoln movie is pretty good. Can I read the descriptions of the movies on the first 5 pages? We'll do 6 to 10 tomorrow, and then we'll be done in a couple months. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not going to read all of the 5 pages. I apologize. Let me try to make that big enough for everybody. That's what she said. Oh, come on. Come on. What is going on? Just zoom out slightly. Please. Hello. There we go. Okay. Top row here, obviously a really great buy. The Apartment in 4K is $50. That is huge. And usually when Kino shows this picture with the slipcover, that means they still have the slip in stock. So if you're the type of person that loves the slip, that's a good one to get here. $15 it's a really great deal for a really classic, amazing movie. Zach says, I did know about the Kino sale. All I can say is you got to follow me on one of the other social medias. Either that or just wait till Thursday night to find out. But yeah, I posted this on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. If you want, join in on the Discord, Patreon link below. We talked about this quite a lot in the Discord today. There's so much conversation going on constantly. Today was talking about empty shelves. Somebody died that we had a conversation about. We talked about the Kino sale. God, so much. Oh, we argued about a few titles. Red Rocket was one of them. Forgot about that. Scrolling down here, let's see. I would say The Associate is not worth $8. I'm just kidding. I don't remember watching that one or not. I think that other than The Apartment, there's not a lot on this second page that really jumps to me. I think somebody in the YouTube last time really loved that Babylon Berlin, but I've still not seen that one. I'm going to go through this page and then I'll go back to some of these comments. Baissez-moi at $10 is a really good movie and a really great price. If you do not have that yet, that's a, I want to say new release, but it's probably like a year oldish now, maybe a little older, and it's a fantastic movie. Barton Fink obviously is a huge one here. If you don't have it yet, great movie. The other one I really like, Do You See Feel? So the Bank Dick is a great price, and that one is fairly new, like within the last year for sure. Coming down here, Beyond Therapy. This is probably the next one I would suggest. It's a Robert Altman. It's got Jeff Goldblum. That's a big deal. Yeah, nothing else jumping out on page 3 for me. Let's go back and check on some of these comments. Chris says, Kino sale time. More things to hurt the wallet. What's going on, Chris? Anthony, 5 Miles to Midnight is a great title. Also, Bronson titles like Someone Behind the Door. Both films have Anthony Perkins. Even though I don't love Bronson, I really like Anthony Perkins. So, damn it. I may need to look at those. There's a couple that Anthony sent me earlier I need to look at. There you go. Terry's the one that liked Babylon. Take a look at it. Audio issues. What's going on? I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to unplug my mic and reset it. 1 second. Well, hell, now it's not letting me choose this microphone again. That's not good. All right, now I'm back to the microphone. Is that helping at all? It shouldn't be internet because I'm hardwired into Google Fiber. So hopefully the audio sounds better. Let me know if that's better. It also could be because my cooler's on, which is odd because it was the coolest day we've had in like 2 weeks today. Sound okay for now? Interesting. Okay. Well, now Eric says still breaking up. I don't have my AirPods with me, which is not great, but I will try to keep with this for now. Moving on, Billy the Kid versus Dracula, really great price at $10. Speaking of price, it does have price. Let's see, this one. Oh, this is not the one I was thinking of. I thought this one had price in it. Guess not. Oh, it's a John Carradine title. That's what it is. All right. Either way, still a fun movie. Which one am I thinking of that has price? Anyways, I was talking about this one. This one was somebody earlier today. Blue Collar, genuinely great film. Richard Pryor in it. Paul Schrader is the director. One of his best of all time, easily. I would say if you haven't, Blue Collar is one that everybody should have. Depending on the way that the elements are, depending on the shape of the elements now, I could potentially see that one getting a 4K, but I wouldn't count on that necessarily. I know Indicator put that out in one of the limited editions, but this is the best US release of it by a long shot. And it's actually, same goes for The Border. This is a Jack Nicholson film that's pretty damn good. Indicator also released that one. And yeah, definitely a good buy there. Speaking of Bronson, we got 2 titles here with slipcover still in stock, Breakout and Breakheart Pass. I'm not shy about sharing that I don't love Bronson, but for those that do, they are probably not going to be much cheaper than that. I see them going to maybe $9.99 for Breakout eventually, but that's not a bad price. Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia for 9.99 is a great deal if you don't have the old Arrow release from across the pond. Buried Alive is a really fun one for 10 bucks. That is certainly worth it. The Buster Keaton titles from Cohen, they always look really good. If you are not collecting the ones from overseas that they've done for Buster Keaton, I suggest it. I've got, I know I've got the volume one. I think I also have the two, but I'm considering getting the rest all together right now. I also have the shorts collection. It's not the best, but it's pretty good. Bustin' Loose with Pryor is a fun one as well. Only 10 bucks. I mean, for a classic Pryor, it's kind of hard to scoff at that price. Make these bigger for everybody. Come on. Kino's website, when they highlight all the titles, kind of screws with everything. There we go. Scrolling down here. I also just got and haven't been able to watch yet Cherry 2000. I got that one recommended last time and picked it up. Clockwise with John Cleese is a decent one. It's not my favorite work of his, but I love John Cleese. Stardust wants to highlight Brighton Rock, and Flickering says Blank City is another good music doc. New York going out of new wave into no wave. Dang it, I'm gonna need to get Blank City then. Terry, you always give great recommendations. Thank you for hanging around. A Fellini title called Clowns, out from Raro Video or Raro, again, however you say it. Do not buy direct from Raro. Buy from Kino. This is the best time to get it, and it's Fellini for 10 bucks. And scrolling down. The masterpiece Cool as Ice is $8.49. Still don't recommend it. If you like Eastwood, which is another one that I don't love, $9.99 with the slip for Coogan's Bluff. That seems like a decent deal. One I will say is good. Crooklyn from Spike Lee, 10 bucks. It's a very good movie. It's not my favorite of his, but I like a lot of Spike Lee stuff. I think that's it on this page for me. Dead Sea Life is saying, if anybody got Buster Keaton Rides Again and you've never seen it, watch it. I can't remember if I just got that one. Yeah, I think I did just get that one in, right? Antoine is also saying Cherry 2000 is great. Post-apocalyptic movie. Nice, nice. Stardust says City of Women is a great film. Let me scroll up to that one. City of Women. Oh, that's on the last page. How did I skip over that one so quickly? It's another Fellini. That's why I recognize the title. Okay. Let's go to page number 8 already. Jeez. Let's see. George C. Scott in The Day of the Dolphin. I've heard decent things about this one. I still don't have this one, but one that gets constantly recommended for sure. Dead of Night. This is what year is this? I believe this is one of like the first known anthology horror films, 1945, and this was a 4K restoration, so that one is certainly worth it, especially at only 10 bucks. I will say, if you've never seen Dead Pit, it's fun to watch once, and at $12, it doesn't seem to go much under that. It's a Code Red title that Kino is putting out, so the price is pretty good at $11.99. Stardust like Dead Dicks. I think that got a UK release that I have. Still need to watch that one. And I'm curious about Desecration. I need to open this in a new tab. I was going to read on that earlier and forgot. Let's see. Devil's Express. This is a wild movie. That's a Code Red film for 10 bucks. I think a lot of people are turned off by the cover on that one, but it's pretty good. And Devil Times 5, I just shared an unboxing that I got that one for Father's Day just this week, so I'm really eager to watch that one. I'm curious, has anybody seen Diamantino? I've heard that this one is hilarious, I think, and I'm curious if it's worth it. It is a comedy fantasy film, and it's rated pretty highly. Jeff says The Day the Earth Got Fire is a good one. Nice. Dogtooth. This is a Yorgos Lanthimos film, and at $10, that is the cheapest it's ever been. I really suggest that one. The the Fibes double feature is already down to $12.99 and still comes with a slip. Obviously, a Vincent Price twofer is great at that price. Mystic interviewed the director and says it's decent. That's good to know. Good to know. Let's see. Dynasty. Again, this is restoration done by the 3D Film Archive, and I will say all of their 3D has been fantastic so far. And that one, I believe, still comes with the glasses and everything, and it allows for the red and blue glasses or the real 3D if you've got a 3D TV. All right, Eastern Promises in 4K. I mean, a Cronenberg 4K with the slip from Kino at only $14.99 is a killer price. Just absolutely, absolutely great. If you don't have the Edgar G. Ulmer Sci-Fi Collection, this one probably won't go under $20 much ever because it's a triple feature. Those really don't go under that price too much. And then we got a Clint Eastwood again with the slip for $9.99. Yeah. Another Jess Franco from Redemption for $10. Not too bad. Even though I'm highlighting a lot of people I don't love. Here's another Jess Franco. Not much else for me on that page. All right, here's some good ones. We got Kubrick's Fear and Desire for $10. I'm curious if they're going to upgrade that one. I know they're doing a lot of Kubrick 4K releases, but this was just an HD master, so they never announced if it was a 4K remaster or 2K remaster. Ooh, Sardis is getting Eastern Promises. Nice, nice. Both of those fives are on volume 1 and 2 of the price sets from Scream, and then also they were released by Arrow in the UK. So some people have one or either of those, and there is nothing new there at all. Yeah, there's no new special features. It's not a new restoration. Mondo Macabra pre-orders next Thursday, a week from today. Don't forget that at all. Are you just throwing me under the bus, Jeff? Thanks. Who do I dislike more, Charles Bronson or Viggo Mortensen? Easily Charles Bronson. Bronson is way worse. I'm sorry if I'm letting you down, Jonathan. Yeah, I'm not a Clint Eastwood fan. I'm not a John Wayne fan. Not a Bronson fan. I don't love Jess Franco. I just like what I like. I'm sorry. The Fifth Floor. This one's actually okay. It's decent. It's got a really young Robert Englund in it. It's a fun one, and at 850, that's pretty good. The Eastwoods I do enjoy. Fistful of dollars, and for a few dollars more in 4K with the slip still, $18.99 a piece. They are still very, very new releases, so I could see that being, the lowest that they will go with the slip. And the next sale, maybe they'll be $15, but I don't know about that one. You're just trying to get me upset with everybody tonight. How about Bronson versus Eastwood? Honestly, I'd probably choose Bronson over Eastwood. Sardis says Fixed Bayonets is a solid war film. I've heard that. I've not seen that one, and I've heard that it's pretty good. Who directed that one? Oh, it's a Fuller film. Okay, that makes sense. Let me open that in a new tab so I can remember that, just in case I get a second order going. Flower Drum Song. I should really highlight this one. A lot of people love Rogers and Hammerstein stuff, and then Nancy Kwan is in this. This is, oh gosh, what is the year on this? It is a pretty old one, right? Like, yeah, 61. Thought that was even older. What else we got here? Not much else on that page. I will certainly defend as better than some of these Bronson and Eastwood titles. Fritz the Cat at $12. That took so long for that Ralph Bakshi one to come out. I suggest getting that one. If you haven't, that's a Scorpion title. Francis the Talking Mule. It's got 7 movies in it for only $40, and I'm still not interested. This is not a great page for me. The Golem is a solid horror. I believe it's still a silent, right? Yeah, it's from 1920. Yeah. And this is recognized as the source of the Frankenstein myth. Let's see. Next page, we got The Great Alligator. I've not watched yet. That is a Martino film, though, and I believe that's a Code Red release. It's not a great movie, but Grunt, the wrestling movie, is here, and one that a lot of people enjoy, even though it's not just a great film. Not a lot on this page that I have a lot of experience with. Hellbenders is a classic, obviously directed by Corbucci, which I don't think it's a hot take on here, but I think Corbucci is the better Sergio. Ragnar. That is a great slogan. That's almost something that needs to be on a t-shirt, which if you let me, I may steal that and put it on a t-shirt. Oh man, that is a great idea. He says, if they are not Vinegar Syndrome slipcovers, then it's just packaging. That is hilarious. Kubrick says, I have that great Gabbo for like a few dollars, and I don't know how good it is. I think Eric von Stronheim did that film. Nice. Oh, Jonathan liked Grunt. See, I know I'm not the only one. After Hellbenders, we've got, I've wanted to see Hester Street. I'm considering this one. It's got Carol Kane in it, who is great. I don't understand how Homebodies, the slip still has not sold out yet. For those that have not seen it, Homebodies is really good. Take a look at that one for only $10. It's worth it. And then Honky Tonk Freeway is actually a pretty good comedy. A lot of big names in it. And I've not seen that Pete Walker, so I think that's it on that page for me. Let's see. In the Heat of the Night. This is the brand new 4K release. $18. This is a triple feature, and the first movie's in 4K. That is one, if you don't have it yet, you should really get that release. I mean, In the Heat of the Night is a classic, and the sequels are decent. It is something that I think that this is a modern Kino must-have for sure. Scrolling down from there. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. The 4K looked pretty good on this. I do think it's worth $17, especially because the Scream Factory one's out of print. It's one of the best horror films of all time, period. It is one of the best remakes of all time. Donald Sutherland is brilliant in it. It's got a great cast overall. We got Goldblum in it. We've got Leonard Nimoy. I don't know why I couldn't remember his name. It's been a long day. That's what I'm blaming that one on. Another W.C. Fields movie. We got It's a Gift here. I don't think that's as good as The Bank Dick, but it is there and available. For me, for when I grew up, the Jetsons movie is kind of a must-own for me. I got that and showed that to my kids, and it still plays very, very well. Full definitely endorsement from me, please. Um, in the last sale, I think actually it was from Flickering Wave suggesting it. I got Jazz on a Summer Day. Unfortunately, have not been able to pop it in yet, but everybody I've read says Jazz on a Summer's Day is brilliant. So I can say that if you like music documentaries, you're probably going to like that one. Jude is a very new release from Scorpion, and it's already down to 12.49. So if you were interested in that one, that's probably not going to go much lower. Killing Time is a very good buy at only $8. That's got Kiefer Sutherland in it, and Killdozer. Killdozer's fun. I'll leave it at that. Jetsons is timeless. Completely agree. Oh, did I skip over Indian Tomb? Yeah, that is a great silent. I did not mean to skip over that one. Sardis watched A Jewish Soul. Has some interesting Yiddish films in it. Nice. What's going on, Cam? I just brought you up a little while ago. We were talking about your new shelf. Oh, and arguing about Red Rocket. If you do not have it yet, I understand that this is pricey, kind of, but $47.99 for Kolchak the Night Stalker is a really good price for a whole lot of content. Like all of the episodes on there have a brand new commentary, and they are all restored. 48 is honestly a great price for that. Scrolling on from here, the last remake of Bo Guest is surprisingly decent. It's directed by Marty Feldman, and yeah, it's a good one. Let the Corpses Tan is a classic at this point. A lot of people have seen it. Highly suggest it if you haven't. It is, let me read the whole description on this one because some people I think are skipping over this one. And it says Belgian filmmakers Helene Catet and Bruno Forzani trade in the crushed velvet and creeping shadows of their giallo worshipping first two films for blistering sun, creaking leather, and raining bullets in this glorious homage to the 1970s Italian crime films. After stealing a truckload of gold bars, a gang of thieves absconds to the ruins of a remote village perched on the cliffs of the Mediterranean. Home to a reclusive yet hypersexual artist and her motley crew of family and admirers, it seems like a perfect hideout, but when two cops roll up on motorcycles to investigate, the hamlet erupts into a hallucinatory battlefield as both sides engage in an all-day, all-night firefight rife with double crosses and dripping with blood. Based on a classic pulp novel by Jean-Patrick Manchette and featuring vintage music cues by Ennio Morricone, Let the Corpses Tan is a deliriously stylish cinematic fever dream that will slam fire your senses like buckshot to the brain. Let the Corpses Tan is great. Scrolling down, we've got nothing else there for me and some water. Lot of reading tonight. Let's see. Losing it. I can't remember if that's the one I'm thinking of or not. Oh yeah, this is the 1983 with Tom Cruise and Shelley Long. $10. Joe Spinell also in this one. Jackie Earl Haley. Lots of great names in this one. Losing it is worth it for sure. Cam is avoiding Kino. Kino? What was that word? Kino. Sardis also enjoyed Let the Corpses Tan. That's good. Scrolling on down on this page. Loving Vincent. I haven't seen this one since release, but this was a decent one. I liked it. Lust Caution. For my patrons, they probably just laughing because I just literally unboxed this one the other day. This one is one that I've seen a long time ago and I don't remember at all. So I just rebought it and now it's on sale. Because of course. The original Mad Max in 4K for $18. I think it's worth it. I think it's a good price. I think that it is the best it will ever look for sure, and probably the best release that's going to get. Unless we get something amazing down the road for like a crazy anniversary edition. We are on page 19, and we are only in the letter M. Good gosh. Let's see. Another W.C. Fields here. Man on the Flying Trapeze. Again, I think Bink Dick is the best of the three, but they are. It's W.C. Fields. He was brilliant. The brand new released Miklos Jankso collection is down to only $24.99, and I have not seen any of the films in this yet, but I hear that they are great. A lot of people suggested that one when it was announced. Million Dollar Mystery. This one is fun for $8. Lot. Let me read you the list of names in this movie. We've got Tom Bosley, Rich Hall, Rick Overton, Kevin Pollak, Rudy DeLuca, Penny Baker, and then I think there was someone else that I liked that they're not highlighting. And of course, I can't bring it up anymore. Yeah, that's a good one. Let's see. Luna is an interesting incest film, says Sardis. Kubrick is waiting on the Criterion sale. A whole bunch of us are, that's for sure. Yeah, it certainly it certainly plays more like a sequel, Toronto, but they talk about it like it's a remake, so that's all I say. Mississippi Burning. This one is a classic, and at $10, I really think everybody should have it for sure. Gene Hackman is great in it. Willem Dafoe's great in it. Misery in 4K. This 4K really, really had me interested the entire time. Obviously, Misery I've seen many times, but it looks really great in 4K. Give me like a newfound respect for the filmmaking in the movie. It is such a good movie. Misery is harrowing. I'm gonna lose my voice from all of you. um, let's see. Next up, Murder Rock. Probably worth $10. This is from Fulci, which should almost automatically make it worth $10. Murder from a little known person named Alfred Hitchcock at $10. That's a great buy. And then Murder by Decree. This is a Bob Clark film, and it is pretty damn good. Mr. Destiny is one that I just bought today in the sale. And scrolling down. Night Gallery at $25, still with the slip. This is the Night Gallery season 1. They are releasing season 2, and $25, well worth it for sure. Yes, Rob Reiner directed Misery. That's one of he had this amazing run of films, and I don't know, it's kind of hard to top the directing he did for, I think it's like 6 movies in a row. Rob Reiner can be very hit or miss, especially over the last uh gosh, 20 years or so, but he had a really solid run for a little while. Let's see. Trying to go through here a little faster and really only highlight some good ones. Another W.C. Fields. There are so many things on sale right now. I mean, there's still technically 2 other sales that we could look at too. Man, I don't mean to go through those too fast. Hopefully everybody's okay with that. If you're looking to get some redemption titles cheap, this Pete Walker collection is actually a really good deal because they sell the 4 movies in it by themselves for $10, and the whole thing is 30. So if you're wanting to break in, it's a really good price to do it. What is either the first or second best Clint Eastwood film for me, Play Misty for me. This is a great movie, and at only $10, it's really, really good. Let's see. I also just got The Projectionist ordered today. Hoping that one is good. I've heard good things about it. Obviously, The Producers is a great film. I'm sure most people know about that one already, so I didn't want to highlight it too much. If you were looking to have all of the Quatermass films, the Quatermass experiment here is only $10. Reiner did announce a Spinal Tap 2, which I don't know what to feel about that. That's I don't know. Rawhead Rex Steelbook at 6.99. I think they announced that this was coming in 4K. And either way, I don't recommend it. I think Rawhead Rex is one of the worst movies they've put out that I've watched. I don't like Rawhead Rex at all. Da, da, da. Okay, all of the Bob Hope movies under the Road to Blank. These are all pretty good. They get a little samey if you watch them back to back, but they are classics for a reason. The especially like Road to Morocco, they are things that have this long-standing reputation. Rawhead is very weird, that's for sure. Um, Two more films by Miklos Jankso here for 15. Again, I have not seen those yet, but I hear they're great. For some reason, I don't think that I'd ever been subjected to him as a director, so I'm real curious about that one. Here, Scream Pretty Peggy and The Screaming Woman. These are both made-for-TV movies that are pretty good. Definitely recommend those, and they still have the slips, and they're only $10. I like a lot of the TV films that they've put out recently. Seven. This is the Andy Sedaris film Seven, and if you have the Mill Creek Skolder, yes, they are. But if you have the Mill Creek Andy Sedaris titles, which are great, they are genuinely like a lot of fun. And I know I'm saying that right after saying Rawhead Rex was not great. Very different type of films. Yeah, to complete the collection, you certainly want seven. And I'm certainly not saying my opinion is law or anything. Horror Guy says, I personally love Rawhead Rex. $6.99 is a steal. It is a steal, absolutely. And if you're going to get it, that is the best price you're going to get it for sure. Shoot First, Die Later is one of the best Raro titles. This is from Fernando De Leo. They don't do a lot of great work on a lot of their films, but Shoot First, Die Later, they did one of the best restoration jobs that they've done on any of them. So strongly suggest checking that one out. And it's got a rad cover on it too. Silence of the Lambs 4K at 15. I know a lot of people are not happy with that 4K transfer. I think it's pretty good, especially after the first like 10 minutes, but it's a decent one. It's been divisive though. The Silent Partner with Elliot Gould and Christopher Plummer. This is legitimately, I'm going to say this, one of the best films in the entire Kino catalog. If you've never seen it, The Silent Partner is a golden era film for both Christopher Plummer and Elliot Gould. It might be Elliot Gould's best role for me. I really enjoy that film. Yeah, strongly suggest that one. That might be it on this page. Going on from there, we've got one of my favorite Spike Lee movies, SOS. This is the Summer of Sam movie about the Son of Sam murders in New York City. I recommended this last time, and some people really didn't like it. But if you are into it, I think it's a really well-made movie. Oh, I didn't see that one, Dead Sea Life. You're right. Yeah, Sinful Nuns of St. Valentine is really good in Unsploitation. Going down. Let's see. Nothing else really there for me. God, we are on page 30. 30. So many titles. Tentacles for $10.99. This is a brand new release for them. Good release, and it is still including the slipcover, it looks like. And at $11, this is not going to get down from that price for a while, probably. This is also another new one. This is Times Square. This has a very young Tim Curry in it, and comes highly recommended. Tintorera Tiger Shark at $10 with a slip. This is a Rene Cardona Jr. title, and it's one of his better ones. I know a lot of people don't like to hear the word Cardona after last year, but yeah, it's a decent one. It's not, top notch movie. Speaking of top notch movie, this next row has two of them. Everybody should own Touch of Evil in 4K from Orson Welles and The Train from John Frankenheimer. Both of those are like one of the top films in cinema history by a long shot, especially Touch of Evil. Another 3D title. This one is also with a slip, Treasure of the Four Crowns. I've not seen that one yet, but again, really good 3D always when the 3D film archive is involved. Let's see. Horror Guy says Times Square was so fun. Nice. Touch of Evil is a great Orson Welles film. Jacko is out. Yes. And they did that. They re-released it with the autographed slips, and they had 95 copies, and it sold out in 4 minutes. But yeah, the standard edition of Jacko is also out now, so you can get it just without the autograph slip. The Victim is another really good made-for-TV movie that they put out. It still has the slip for $10 there. Virgin Among the Living Dead is one of the better Jess Franco titles, I would say. Violent City. I've not seen this yet, but somebody suggested this one as more of a, if you want to like Bronson, this is one of the better titles supposedly to watch first. So I'm going to be checking that one out soon, probably. And then the Western Classics. Not a lot of people have talked about these collections in a while because they are more talking about the film noir lately, but it's not bad prices. $38 for 6 of them total. Let's see. Without Warning, fairly new title for $12 with the slip. That is from Great and Clark. Was a Scream Factory release and went out of print, and now it's here. And it is good. It is one that I definitely suggest. And I think we are about to be done finally with Kino. Another Fields, two more Fields titles actually. We got You Can't Cheat an Honest Man, and You're Telling Me. And a lot of people, this one's another divisive one, but from Albert Band, Zoltan, Hound of Dracula, aka Dracula's dog. A lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it. It's pretty right down the middle for me. I've got 4 titles open in different tabs now to keep an eye on. Thanks to you guys. Appreciate that. Okay, Arrow Sale and the Film Detective Sale. Should we look at either one of those? Anybody? Anybody feeling strongly about either one of them? I feel like the Arrow Sale always gets its due, so maybe we should check out the Film Detective one. And I'm just looking for all kinds of announcements coming out next week. Skolder says, I have most of the Kino Lorber box sets. Good way to get their titles. Absolutely. And it's cheap, too, for the most part, especially if you get them during these sales. I mean, $20 for 3 films in a box set, that's pretty damn good. All right, I'm going to open. Have a good night, Video Manning. All right, I'm going to open the MVD sale. Let's go check that one out. This is the Film Detective and Kit Parker film sale. They have, I'm going to do 48 per page, so we can do this in 2 pages. I'm going to go price high to low here, so we can look at mostly Blu-rays. Let me bring this in. All right, so first thing I will say, the Sherlock Holmes Vault Collection. I'm not really one to look down on some of these like this, but these are These are decent movies with god awful transfers. They look horrible in this box set. This is one that I regretted buying almost immediately. Uh, Definitely not one that I suggest unless you are like a diehard fan of Sherlock Holmes. I've not watched any of the Laurel and Hardy new restorations, but I hear they did a great job on those. And the Noir Archive, which weren't these Mill Creek? Interesting that they're on sale here. I think I had the first volume of this. I should look at that. It would be nice to get the rest, but at 25, I don't know. That doesn't seem like too much of a sale for me. Scrolling down here, we got a lot of DVD stuff from them. John says, watching you from a cab leaving the airport in Miami, see you're attempting my wallet yet again. It's my job, John. See you, Kubrick. Have a good night. Okay, so these are the ones that I can finally start talking about because they get a little cheaper here. The Other Side of Madness. This one is, I think this is the one I watched. Let me open this in another tab here. Yeah, this one is decent. It returns nearly 50 years after its initial release, an avant-garde retelling of the infamous Manson murders, which is from 1971, and they label this as a documentary, which kind of. Uh, Now this is where I think a lot of these get important, and at only $12.99, these are really fairly priced. Giant from the Unknown, brand new 4K restoration, completely suggest that one. Flight to Mars got a brand new special edition. The Capture is here, $13 a piece, kind of hard to argue there. The Dancing Pirate, Girl on a Chain Gang, Monster from Green Hell is one of their like big titles from the last couple of years. Skolder says, yes, they were from Mill Creek. Some are also in the indicator sets. Yeah, that makes sense. John says the Capture is pretty good. Did I just... Oh, this one. Okay. I've not heard a lot about the Capture, so that's good. They do some really good work on these restorations. And at the price, these are pretty great. I wanted to get the Amazing Mr. X. And then these ones, like Frankenstein's Daughter, that's a pretty big title for them. Fabulous Dorseys from 47. Life at Stake. This one has Angela Lansbury, and that's from 1955. But that is the bulk of their Blu-rays, I believe, from the Film Detective. There is a lot more stuff down here that are in DVD. They also have Boss with Fred Williamson. Curious about that one. Yeah, I think the rest of these are all DVD. Which, no shame, if you still collect DVDs, I'm not going to look down on it. I don't suggest it personally. I want the best possible quality out there. But they do have a lot of titles here, and on some of these, you can get multiple films for $10. I mean, Legendary Outlaws double feature, so you got 2 movies for $10. That's still very cheap overall. I remember you saying Amazing Mr. X was good. And let's see. We got Laurel and Hardy. I believe this stuff was in the new restoration that they did. So you might want to go with that Blu-ray instead. Yeah, a lot of stuff down here. And remember, it's MVD sale, so everything is fixed $5.99 shipping, and you got to keep it to only 15 titles. I know that seems like a lot, but when it's cheap, some people go all in, and they get actually 15 titles on those. So kind of crazy. Anything else that we want to take a look at? Because we are nearing an hour 45. Slow week for announcements, but heavy week for sales. Next week looks to be still kind of heavy on the sales, but heavy on the announcements as well, starting tomorrow. But I say, bring it on. Going to be a good week. All right. not a whole lot of people are diving into the comments. So once again, I want to say thanks for the patrons for making this show possible. It really does help to support the community the way you do. The amount of interaction in our Discord is amazing, and I appreciate everything that you guys add that help with. Posts that go up for deals and finding sales and discussions on titles and reviews and all that. You guys are genuinely fantastic. So thank you to all of you. MVD stopped shipping worldwide. I did not know that. I thought they still did. Interesting. All right, guys. I think that's it for tonight. Again, thank you for everything. As I always say, from one collector to all of you. See you next Thursday, and have a good week. Later.